Welcome back to another BGC from home video with yours truly, Miss Leah or LL. Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we are working towards the online safety badge. Let's understand how to respond to explicit images or inappropriate images and behavior online. What is explicit imagery exactly? Let me start off by saying before we begin, this activity includes a sensitive topic. So just remember, this is your safe space. So if you feel unsafe or uncomfortable at any point, make sure that you tell an adult or a club staff for support. So with that being said, let's read the 3 statements below and determine if the statement is true or false. All right, guys, I'm nice and comfy, vibing out on our fabulous new couch here from BGC from home. Okay, so remember, these statements, we're going to go over 3 different statements, and we're going to determine if these statements are true or false. And again, let me remind you, this is a sensitive topic, so at any point, if you feel uncomfortable, you can always step away and approach a club staff or an adult. All right, so statement 1. Here we go, you guys. A photo or video that exposes a naked body, is that explicit? So a photo or a video that exposes a naked body, is that explicit, true, or false?
True!
Bam, you got it. True, you guys. An explicit image of any kind. It could be a photo, it could be a video, a graphic illustration that is completely explicit and inappropriate. And if you ever receive anything like that or asked to send anything of that nature, you immediately go to an adult. A choice is when someone is forced to act or behave in a certain way. A choice is when someone is forced to act or behave in a certain way. Is this true or false?
That's false!
Boom, money. That's right, you guys. That is completely false. A choice is not when you're being forced to do something at all, right? That is not a choice. That is you being forced to do something against your will. For example, we're going to use the name Tiffany. Tiffany found a phone in her classroom, just a random phone. It was not hers, and she chose to turn that phone into the lost and found. So no one forced her to do that. It was not against her will. She did that on her own accord. That was her choice. All right, you guys, in our last statement, statement number 3, a consequence is something that happens because of a choice made by someone. So a consequence is something that happens because of a choice made by someone. Is this true or false?
That's true!
True! Yes, true, 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 true. A consequence is absolutely what comes after a choice that you make, whether that's a good choice or a bad choice. So if you selected true, you are correct. It is something that happens as a result of a choice that you make. For example, let me give an example. Let's just give an example of a consequence. Let's say you put on your shoes and you decide, I'm too busy to tie my shoes. I got this. Let me run out the house. And boom, you trip and fall. That was the consequence for not tying your shoes. That was a choice you made, and the consequence was falling on your face. As you get older, you'll have many choices to make in life. What you choose can lead to good or bad consequences. Let's watch this video and explore how you can make good choices involving explicit or inappropriate images. Let's take a look.
You probably get lots of messages every day, but what if you got one like this? What would you do? Would you send a picture? No? Cool. That's an easy way to protect yourself. But what if you'd chosen differently? What if you send the picture? They'd never share it with anyone else, right? Do you want the picture shared with others? Sorry, you no longer have a choice. It's out of your hands now, because sometimes people we trust break that trust. Maybe the person you sent the picture to shows it to some friends. Maybe they send it to a couple friends, who send it to a couple more friends, you get the idea. It spreads, and you never know who might see it. Your little brother, Your mom? Other people at school?
Seriously?
And I would never.
Even strangers could get a hold of your picture. You never really know where that picture will end up,
Look at it.
how long it will be out there, or what the consequences will be. Don't let others decide what happens to your image. Think before you share. Learn more at netsmarts.org. And hey, if your image is already out there, know that it's not your fault. For information about removing sexual pictures and videos from the internet, visit missingkids.org/gethelpnow.
All right, you guys, let's take a deep breath. Breath in, breath out. And I just want you to notice how you feel after watching that video. So pay attention to how you feel, and remember, if at any point you feel unsafe or unsure, you can always step away and speak with an adult. And let's just kind of talk about the video itself and the importance of thinking before you share. If at any point, it doesn't matter how young, how old, if anyone asks you to share anything that is inappropriate or explicit, you immediately will contact an adult. Just like in that video, it went down kind of the rabbit hole as to what could happen if you decided to make the decision to share a picture that was inappropriate, right? And that is the tragedy of online, is it can go from one person to a million. So I want you to really think about that at any point ever sharing anything. So the answer is always no. All right, let's chat, you guys. What lesson do you think you learned from watching today's video? But wait. Shh. Don't tell me just yet. I want you to grab some paper and pencil and let's go over some questions. All right, so now that we have our pen or pencil, paper, let's go over these questions, and we're gonna do it together, you guys. So question 1, what choices did the characters in the video make? So if you think back to the video, they played it out a couple of different ways. So there were a couple of different scenarios. So in one of the scenarios, the character did make the choice to send that video. And then from there, it kind of did a spiral, a chain reaction where people began to share that video. So did they make good choices in that scenario or bad choices? Bad choices, right. So I'm gonna write that down. All right. And now that you finished up, give you a moment. Let's go over question 2 together. We're in this together, you guys. Question 2. What were the consequences that the boy and the girl faced for choosing to send or ask for an explicit image? So what were the consequences that the boy and the girl both faced from asking or sharing the explicit image? A few consequences, right? So for example, you could get in trouble with the law for asking for images such as that, especially depending on age. Consequences for the girl, again, if it's, or for the girl who chose to share that image, again, your family can get a hold of that. The school could get a hold of that. It could spread to so many places, and you have no control over who is actually looking at that. So again, we always say no. We think before we share, and we say no. We say no. All right, let me write that down. Make sure you write that down in your own words. Okay, I think I got it. All right, let's go over question number 3. All right, our last question. So, what would you tell your friend who was thinking about requesting or sharing an explicit image? So, what would you tell your friend if they were thinking about requesting or sharing an explicit image? All right, I'm gonna give you a minute to think about it. What advice would you give them? All right. So, one, we tell them don't do it. Don't request it because you want to think about that other person and you want to think about their dignity and their respect, right? And you want to have enough self-respect not to share an image like that as well. You want to hold yourself to a higher moral standard. So the answer is always no. We're not asking and we not sharing, right? We're not asking and we're not sharing. I think that should be our answer. That's what I'm going to write down. Not asking and not sharing. I love it. And let me just leave you with a quote, you guys, or something to think about. It's important to know that healthy relationships and people do not ask or force you to do anything. So again, healthy relationships, healthy friendships, people who are just genuinely healthy in your life, who are in your circle, will never force you to do anything that you don't want to do. Just remember that, okay? All right. All right, let's wrap up today's activity with a little reflection time. Let's just kind of reflect on what we've learned, okay? So, 1, what is an explicit image? Yes, absolutely, you guys. An explicit image is anything that is inappropriate or any sort of imagery of any of your naked body. Anything to that nature is completely inappropriate and an explicit image. Next reflection question, you guys. What choice should you make if someone were to ask you to share an image? What did we go over in the activity, right? We're not sharing and we're not asking. So that's the choice you should make. Not sharing and I'm not asking. All right, our last reflection question, you guys. What supportive adult could you talk to if something like this were to happen to you? So if someone were to DM you on social media and ask for an image, what supportive adult could you talk to? You already know you can go to your club staff, right? So you can go to your club staff, your YDPs, and also you can go to mom, dad, or if you're at school, you can go immediately to the counselor's office and ask for support. Someone is always there to support you. We are always here to support you. And just remember, we're not asking and we're not sharing. All right, and that is a wrap on today's activity. Make sure that you snap a pic of the activity questions and save and submit them so you can earn your star towards the online badge, you guys. We're learning all about online safety this badge, and it's going to be dope and informative and something you definitely want to take with you onto adulthood. So thank you so much for joining. I'm out of here, but before I go, just remember, great futures start here. Ta-ta.